So today I'm going to talk to you about 8 secrets or plans or steps that I have followed to make my life better as a neurodivergent introvert and run my own business. Okay, so if you're an introvert, you know that you need to recharge and there's nothing that you can do about it. You struggle to get into conversations. You always look for those empty spots where you go and look to just recharge. It's just like a pause. That sometimes it gets too much. The motion gives you the heebie-jeebies in your stomach. If you're familiar with Carl Jung, he was a famous psychiatrist and a researcher who said that our inner world as introverts are mostly stimulated not by external validation but by inward validation. Slow thinking. Like, for example, I love the rain. I'm a pluviophile, so I always look for those corners where I could just stand looking at the rain, making no conversations, no eye contact with anyone, and just be. And for someone else, it may be, difficult to fathom, but in those moments, I really do a lot of deep thinking. And it might be very difficult to find those spaces in the world of today. And growing up, it was very difficult because my parents were after my life. You need to go out, socialize. But socialize how? I never kind of got the hang of small talk. Even today, I'm not that good at it. So there are a few things that I discovered along the way, which really helped me change my mindset, because you need to understand who you are first and then take steps. So let's begin with the 8 steps that actually helped. Number 1, you need to listen. And as an introvert, this is your plus point. You listen a lot. Most people do not. They're just in the flow. Make this your superpower. And what do I mean by that? Like, even when I get into a conversation with a client or with a relative or with a friend, I always notice those subtle cues. The things that people don't notice. The pauses, the hold in the conversation, the words they are choosing. And that tends to tell you a lot about the person, and your guard is already up. You fear, what if you make a mistake? So look for those subtle cues. For me, I was a good listener. I still am a good listener. I love to listen to others. So work on that one skill set that really sets you apart. Play to your strengths. That is very important. If you do not play to your strengths, you are playing a game that you are destined to lose. If you play the extrovert way, you are destined to lose. So number 1, find your strengths. Play to it. Second, you'll always have those anxiety spikes. Maybe you're going to a wedding ceremony, maybe you're going to that interview, you don't know what you will say. Perhaps you make a mistake. What if I speak too much? What if I freeze? Trust me, those are the thoughts that still haunt me today. So how do I cope with it? Find your personal space. That's very important. What do I mean by personal space? Make your boundaries. Like, I have a cozy spot in my home where I like to go when I'm tensed, when my anxiety is spiking, especially after too much networking. I play the music. I like instrumental music. If you're into anime, I love Naruto. So this Naruto music playing in the background, maybe some film or movie, those reels that make you feel good about yourself, or maybe reading excerpts from a book that makes you feel better. Either way, make it cozy. You could also feed birds. This needs to be a regimen that you practice. This is your go-to place. This is your soft spot that you need to go and make it into a routine and prioritize it. This is very important. If you don't prioritize this, it's going to be very difficult to get hold of situations when it gets overwhelming, and it will get overwhelming. Third, the most important bit, small talk. There's no way that you will get around this. So the only way to do is to position yourself well. Look for the spot, choose your moments. You don't need to ace an extrovert out when in a small talk. You need to talk in a way that matters to you. Listen more, stay true to yourself. This is very important. Stay true to yourself. Most of the introverts make this mistake because they are trying to be someone they're not. The moment you accept who you are, you're never going to be the one who is going to win over people with small talk. Don't try to be. Don't push yourself. Just be yourself. Only when you think that you can contribute, then pitch in. Then go for the kill, I would say, right? But don't push yourself beyond a certain way. Even if I'm entering into a networking event or a webinar, I try to add value when I can. If I feel that I cannot provide that kind of value, I don't open my mouth, and that's completely okay. And it took quite some time for me to, come to terms with this. But this is a huge mental block that I had to overcome. I am never gonna be good at small talk, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna let it hold back. Humans are hard species. You crave that human contact. You have to network. You have to talk, but we don't want to, right? So make it into your own fight. Make your fight. Choose your own battles. Play according to your strengths. Now comes the most important part. Is the part I call, it's called the Achilles heel. It took me quite some time. It's giving up. You need to give up the pretense. My whole life I've gone through entering into moments where I didn't know what to say, or I didn't want to interact, and I tried being someone I'm not. I made a fool of myself, and I'm sure many of you have as well. So what do? Give up trying to be someone else. Accept yourself. Learn about yourself, because the more you're trying to pretend, the less you're trying to know about yourself. The less you're trying to know about who you are and how you react in a certain situation. It's like wearing a mask. You're trying to wear a mask where your insides are craving for attention. You need to give up. You can't win all battles. Win those ones which matter to you. Calm down. Sit with yourself. Write it out. Like, even before I get into any conversation, I write out what matters to me. Now, normal people wouldn't make those notes, but for me, it helps me being structured. It helps me being kind to myself. This is so important that I can't begin to fathom. I have gone into severe depression back in 2017, where I didn't get out from bed for more than 11 hours at a time. I had severe Asperger's, and from there to now, the only way I found out, and it's gonna sound cliche, but it was within. I needed to accept who I was and what I wanted to be. Now, moving on to the sixth point, you need to be super intentional about getting into any situations. What do I mean? There's not all situations that warrant you to have a discussion or talk. Choose your moments. Choose the points of entry. That is how I survive in business. I listen, I choose the points of entry where I can make an impact and go about it. And that means prioritizing your own mental health as well. Learn to say that no. Learn to say that no. If you feel that it's only going to make it worse, assess that situation. Is it an avoidable situation, or is it a no compromise that you have to go for it? If it is a no compromise situation, what you need to do, find your own voice, look for those corners, like I said, the entry points. But if at all you could avoid going there or avoid meeting someone if you don't like, I would say go for it. Don't do it. And I'm saying this from experience. It's only going to make it tougher, because you're going to come back home and you're going to blame yourself. I've blamed myself tons of times. Don't do it. Listen to that voice. Respect yourself. And you will listen to stuff like, you're being rude. What does he think of yourself? Trust me, this is one life. I care too much about what others said in my past to know that you need to listen to yourself first. Because if you are not sane over here, trust me, it's going to get very difficult. So this is very important. Then coming to the seventh one, the 2-minute rule. This is very, very important. What do I mean by in a 2-minute rule? Suppose you're in a conversation with me. Suppose you're in a conversation with your friends and you don't know what to do. You got yourself in a situation that you can't get out of. Try to get 2 minutes out. Ask for a break. Excuse yourself. Maybe go to the toilet or the washroom. Close your eyes. Think of something calm. Steady yourself. Think of the birds. think of something that has happened good in your life, which you love to remember, maybe an award or something that gives you peace, that lights up your mind. Think about it, 2 minutes, think, yes, calm down, take deep breaths, do box breathing. What do I mean by that? Count to 4 and inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it out 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it for only 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. Come back and start seeing. You will see as you do it with time, you will become better and better. And the problem is introverts tend to be very stubborn. It does not work. The more I heard about meditation and yoga and stuff like that, it never kind of did work out for me. But when you really do it with intent, give into it. The only way out is to give up. We don't give ourselves a license to fail. I try to perfect my career in such a way that it will stand out. I'll always be on the top. This is what I want to earn, and so on. And I never listened to myself. I never wanted to spend time knowing what I really want and who I am. And that kind of effed me up. Don't do that. Be kind to yourself. Know who you are. Like if you are an introvert, getting into business is the worst possible thing or career choice that you will ever go for. People will say that to you, right? I've been running a business for 7 years, and trust me, there are still times when I don't believe it. I absolutely do not, because the Orithro back then would never dream about it. Even the one that I'm making a video of myself. That does not mean that I've changed as an introvert. I've conditioned myself to better my reflexes, to follow the steps regimen, because I know who I am now and I don't feel ashamed about it. Stop being ashamed about it. You are an introvert. Accept it, move on. There's some things you'll always be better than others. There's some things you'll never be better than others. It's okay, you are human. And the most important self is steer the conversation. The 8th point, steer the conversation. Whenever I enter into a conversation or a networking event, where the focus is not on the work that I'm doing, but much more on, talking that small talk, I try to slowly steer the conversation into something that I'm comfortable with. Now, when I had begun this, I absolutely sucked. I did not know, and those contraptions at the beginning, how I had to move the conversation was so cringe-worthy. But after 2017, I didn't give up. So what? So I learned with time. It took me quite some time to get into that flow of stuff, to make that contraptions, that entry point where I steered the conversation in another way. So find that. And I really wish you do find that, because I know how tough it is inside. Your brain is always racing. You can't speak what you want to for the fear of being judged. Most important thing that you carry from here, which I want you to believe, give yourself the license to fail. This is the single most changing factor that will move your life to hills and beyond. And this is something that took me quite some time to understand. Make a cozy place for yourself. Be kind to yourself. Make your own routine. Be a good listener, which you already are. Find your strengths, play to it. Follow the 2-minute rule. Steer the conversations. And be super intentional when you're talking to others if you feel that you're not comfortable. And 8th, no. Learn to say that no. It's okay. Even if you're called rude, even if somebody calls you rude, this is a very important fact. Like, what if people call me rude? And I used to worry about that all the time, because I have been called rude. But I've come to terms with it. It is much important for me to protect my mental peace over someone's apprehension that I am being rude when I have no intention of being so. This is a very important feeling that I hope you acquire in your day-to-day lives. So this is how I worked it out in my business. This is how I worked it out in my life, and this is how I follow without my mind losing the sanity. I'll leave you with just one thought. Give yourself the license to fail. if you don't do that, if you hold yourself back, if you're stubborn in your ways, like I'll figure something out, don't try to push that, you go that, you will slowly see that you are withering away. And I did, till it got to a point it was too much. Please don't make the mistake I did. It took me quite some while to find myself, enough to get at a point where I'm talking to you at the moment. Give yourself the license to fail. And if you like what I'm doing, I'll absolutely appreciate if you could like or subscribe to my YouTube channel. I just want to build a community where people like me, introverts and neurodivergent people, interact, where they learn how to grow with me. So if you like what you see, I'd love to hear from you what you want to see more, and see you on another video. Bye.